Hey Wire Monkeys, this week we're doing a toolbox comparison. Welcome to the show where we tackle the tough questions submitted by installers, estimators, project managers, customers, even ICT personnel. We're trying to connect at the human level so that we can connect the world. If you're watching the show on YouTube and you like the content, would you mind hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell button to be notified when new content is being created? If you're listening to us on one of the audio podcast platforms, would you mind giving us a 5-star rating? And if we're not a 5-star rating, let me know what I can do to make this a 5-star rated show. Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are you doing? We do a live stream. We get to ask your favorite RCDD, well, that would be me, your questions on ICT installation, certification, project management, estimation, even career path. But I can hear you now. But Chuck, I'm driving my truck home at 6 p.m., man. I don't want to get in an accident. Okay, we got you covered. They are recorded and put on the website at letstalkcabling.com. Also, if you would like to support this show is free and will always remain free to you, the end user. But we do have a ability where you can click on this QR code right here and you can buy me a cup of coffee. You can even schedule a 15-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me after hours, of course. And we also have the Amazon link connected to our Let's Talk Cabling page. So as I said in the intro, I finally bit the bullet. If you know me, I've been hammering the Milwaukee Pack-Out people for 2 years because they are just a little fanatic. And maybe part of it was a little bit of jealousy because all I have is a great big old job box, right? And maybe it's a little bit of jealousy. But the more and more I think about it, the more I think I really do need one of these. Not just for my low voltage escapades, but also around the farm, right? But if you know me well enough, you know me, I don't like doing what everybody else does. I like being different. I like going a different route. So I was kind of in a query. What do? I don't want to become one of the Milwaukee fan-out kids, and I don't want to go invest a bunch of money, but I do want a good quality product. And I was walking around the NECA show just a few weeks ago during one of my breaks because I was actually there working, and I happened to walk by the Klein booth. And it was before the show opened, and guess what they had sitting there? They had the MODbox. And I even stopped, took a video, and if you're on TikTok, you saw that video already. I was like, I got to check into this more. And then I got to think about it after I got back from the show, from the NECA show. Well, I need to do a comparison show because there's got to be other people like me who are getting ready to buy a system. And let's be honest, it's not going to be cheap, but this is going to be a lifetime investment. So it's kind of like a camera. Once you buy Nikon or Nikon, you're stuck with Nikon lenses. If you go to Canon, you're kind of stuck with this. So you got to think about this advance. And that's why I was like, maybe I need to do a comparison series. So what I did is I went and bought a Milwaukee Pack-Out and a Klein MODbox. Don't tell my wife, okay? They're up in this shop. She doesn't know it yet. She hasn't seen them. But she watches this show. I'm sure she's going to see it at some point, right? So I'm going to do a comparison video where I'm going to test the quality on these two. And part of this whole process is I've reached out to both Klein and Milwaukee to do an interview to talk about their products. Well, today I have Klein on. So welcome to the show, Greg Palese from Klein. How you doing, my friend?
Good, man. How are you doing today? Good to see you again.
I am doing fantastic. And, life could be better. I could be in a little bit less pain because of the stupid tooth thing. I keep telling people it's a toothache, but they extracted the tooth, so technically it's not a toothache anymore because the tooth is gone. But I'm rocking and rolling, man. Rocking and rolling. It's good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having us on here.
That studio looks kind of familiar. You have to tell me a little bit about that studio.
Yeah, this is where all the magic happens. This is our video studio here. This is where we host a lot of our Klein Lives that many of your viewers have seen, where we tend to do a lot of product demos. We tend to do a lot of sales training here. So this studio is multi-purpose, and behind the scenes, behind the cameras here, I got a great group of guys helping make me look pretty.
Where's my group of guys?
You can borrow mine someday.
Mine don't sound like there are as many there as yours for you. That's not fair. Is that where they do the spinny wheel thing and they give away the stuff on TikTok?
This is it, man. This is where we do a spinning wheel. We take a lot of questions from our audiences, TikTok, Instagram, all these, and we'll spin our prize wheel. And if you're the lucky winner, we'll send you out some free tools.
Nice. So for the one person out there who might have never heard of Klein, because they just got in the industry like yesterday.
Got it.
Tell us a little about who you are and who Klein is.
Sure. So Klein Tools, still family-owned, family-run company, founded in 1857, and we're run by the Klein family. We're on our 6th generation of leadership today. We still make the majority of our tools here in the U.S., down at our factories in Mansfield, Texas. And we are the industry leaders in things like pliers, wire strippers, screwdrivers, things like that. We are the industry leader. And if you're just getting in the industry today, hopefully you'll buy some Klein tools because they'll last you another 30 years as you progress through your career.
I've got a pair of Klein snips that, while they're not 40 years old, they're at least a couple decades old. I couldn't tell you exactly when I bought them, but they've been in my tool case for through 3 houses. So that tells me right there it's been around for at least 2 decades.
Yeah, we have a great group of guys online, the Klein Tools Collectors Facebook page. So at NECA a couple weeks ago, we had a guy come over and he brought a pair of pliers from the 1890s. And shared them with us that he found that he has in his possession. And you know what? I guess in a pinch, if you were stranded on a desert island, you could still use these 1890 pliers to get you around. So it gives you an idea of how long these things last if you take care of them.
Did he bring it out of a box and have on like his white gloves, kind of like the museum curator?
It was definitely a little like white glove treatment there, and it felt like something, the Stanley Cup or something else, where he was very much protective of this thing. But again, I'm not sure how much it cost, but again, 1890, God bless it.
Yeah, people collect things. They just absolutely collect things. I collect code books. That's my thing. I collect
Okay,
NEC
there you go.
And the first NEC code book was published in 1897, but probably unlike that Klein tool, a intact copy NEC code book from 1897 is about $5,000.
Holy cow!
I can't hide that one from the missus.
Yeah, right. No, we again, we have a lot of guys who go out there and they cruise flea markets and garage sales, and we always see people finding stuff from early 1900s out there. We did a contest a couple years ago to find the oldest pair of Kleins. We gave a $5,000 reward for it, and a guy gave us some 1904, and he found them. He bought them for $2 at a flea market.
That's a heck of an investment right there. Nice return.
Right,
nice
exactly.
Return. Wow.
You gotta know what you're looking for, right?
Exactly right. So let's talk about the MODbox. Right?
Sure.
First off, how long has it been out?
So we launched the MODbox this year, 2023, earlier this spring. We came out probably about April is when these things started shipping, and it's been we haven't been able to keep up with the demand. People have been buying them up, and we are quite thrilled with the success.
One of the things that kind of threw me off, like I said, I already bought a PACKOUT and a Klein box to do my whole testing thing. And one of the things that kind of threw me off is when I went to Lowe's to get my MODbox, it wasn't with all the other toolboxes. It was in a separate section by itself, like 20 feet away. And I actually had to stop and ask men, we don't ask directions, right? I had to stop and ask one of the Lowe's guys, hey, I'm looking for the MODbox, and he didn't know what it was. He had to look up in his little scanner thing. He goes, oh, it's section 20. And he looked at, and then you saw the big orange thing. I was like, oh, there it is. I got it from here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we just announced a new partnership with Lowe's this year. So as we roll out in their stores, sometimes right now we're in some different odd places, but as the rollout progresses, people will be able to find us in their typical places where they look for all their tools.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. It was just I expected it to be there, but when I found you couldn't miss it. Once the guy pointed me in the right direction, over top of all the aisles, I could see all the orange. I was like, never mind, I got it from here.
Got it from here, right? There you go.
Yeah. So I saw you guys at NECA, the National Electrical Contractors Association show, and I stopped and talked to a couple of you guys at the booth there, and they were showing me all the benefits and stuff. And I could definitely tell that there was a lot of influence from electricians.
Yeah.
A lot of influence from electricians. Like the notch on the top for conduit for measuring. There's even a spot inside where you can cut a piece of conduit, put it in there to put your spools on, spin out, stuff like that. So, what are some key features or benefits that maybe somebody from the low voltage industry, like doing voice and data cabling, might be able to get out of using this?
Yeah, so I think there's three key features that I think can really appeal to whether it's the low voltage data guys or sort of any industry, right? One of the big things that we've got here are the wheels, right? So these are the biggest wheels in the industry here, 10 inches here, nice rubber wheels here. These wheels will enable you to get over rough terrain if you're at an unfinished job site, if you have to go upstairs. These wheels are really key, biggest in the industry, huge for anybody doing any kind of work on a job site. So that's really a key feature there. The other key feature is this integrated side rail here. So we've got lots of these little accessories here that you can put on and you can customize it, right? You say, okay, I need something for my parts bin. Here I got this is for my coffee cup, my coffee holder here. So we've got lots of different things where, again, people can click these in on the sides, build their own thing. Down here we've got a magnetic plate. Again, anything strong, rare earth magnet here. This is a pair of side cutters. You know what this is? Lineman pliers.
I thought those were hammers.
Yeah, my legal department would claim otherwise, but yes, we know that people do that. But yeah, so again, lots of different things that you can do and customize your own setup here. So again, if you're doing something and you just need a parts bin or you need something else, you can customize the setup. So those are two key features. And then one of the key features that we really like here that is out there we go. So is a removable handle, right? So again, if you're trying to put this thing in, you're trying to break it down, you don't have to put it into your tonneau cover under your truck. You don't have to tip it back and have everything fall underneath. You just take this out, and then once you separate everything here, then you can put it back, and then when you get on the job site the next day, just lock those things in. So those are three features for anybody, no matter what industry you're in, that really appeal to you. It's not just electrician focused. We do have some things on here that really appeal to electricians, but there's other things on here that make it a wide appeal for almost any industry.
Yeah, I love that detachable handle thing. When I went and bought my MODbox from Lowe's, I have a crew cab F350, so I put it in the back seat, and it's actually our farm truck. So we have a cover because we have German Shepherds, and I didn't want somebody looking in the back of the truck seeing this brand new MODbox sitting back there and breaking my window, right? So I just took the dog cover, kind of put it over. Well, it was kind of sticking up. I was like, well, geez, pop that right off. You didn't even know the thing was there. Didn't even know it was there.
I think the biggest thing, I always tell the story. We've been lugging this thing around, went to the show. I called an Uber driver to come pick me up one day, and the guy shows up in a Toyota Camry, right? And we got a couple guys. We got to put it in the back trunk of the car, but it's easy, right? We just pop the handle off, throw it in the trunk, everything fits. We were able to fit the 3-stack in here, all 3 boxes in his trunk, and off we went. So again, if you're an independent guy, if you have a pickup truck, you have a small car, whatever it might be, this easily stores away once we sort of pull the handle up and move it on.
Did you fly with your MODboxes?
So we transported them. We have flown with them before. If you separate them, if you need to check them, you can't put it through as a 3-stack because TSA will mess it up. But all 3 of these things can be separated here fairly easily here. Right? Where's my little? There you go. Sorry. There's my lock. Right? You can press this out. You can, move any of these 3 things here. I got a bunch of stuff on it. So, but again, you're able to transport all 3 of these things, and then there's extra steel reinforced locking mechanisms here, where you can put a padlock, you can put a cable lock, whatever it might be, and then these steel metal clasps here will keep it stored. So again, if you are traveling with this thing for whatever reason, and we have traveled with it, you can put it through as checked baggage, and we haven't had any problems with it.
Oh, very cool. We'll come back and visit that because I got some questions about traveling with it, right? Look, can you give us some details about like maybe the size and the weight of it? So you got 3 components, right? You got the rolling toolbox, the bin box, and then the top one. Just give us some rough ideas. What size and weight, and what kind of stuff can we put in there?
Yeah, so the rolling toolbox at the base here, this bottom one here, gives you about 2 cubic feet of space for storage. Once you add in the medium box, And the small box, that's another extra almost 2 cubic feet of storage. So about 4 total 2 cubic feet of storage there. The bottom box here, the rolling toolbox at the bottom here, weighs only 29 pounds, but it can withstand about 250 pounds of weight on top of it. So again, if you're on a job site and you're just using this thing, you want to sit down, have your lunch, take a load off your feet, you can also use that box as a seat there as well. So as you get higher, again, there's some other stuff, we don't recommend sitting too high in this thing, but about 2 cubic feet in the bottom one, 2 cubic in the middle ones there, and then 29 pounds weight on the rolling toolbox.
Nice, nice. So there's, the Live Old Use Injury covers the whole entire country. Actually covers the whole world. And we have some harsh environments that we work in. Now, you probably think I'm talking about maybe construction sites. I know that you already thought about construction sites just based on the size of the wheel. But what about the technician who's working up in Bangor, Maine, where it gets super cold? Does that plastic become brittle and break? What about the technician in Miami, Florida, where UV just kills anything plastic?
Yeah, so so it's made of impact-resistant polymers, but I think more importantly, again, you mentioned some of the weather and some of those things. It is IP65 rated for protection against debris and rain and any kind of water damage there. So again, if you are dragging it through the mud and it does get a bunch of mud all over it, you can just take a quick hose, spray it down, or if you're outside again in the elements there, IP65 rated against debris and the elements.
One of the things that Milwaukee has, they have tons of options, unfortunately. And you guys just came out this year with the stuff. I know you're coming out with some new stuff. Can you give us like an overview of what you're gonna have coming out and time frames they're gonna be coming out?
Yeah, so again, I mentioned some of the things, we got parts bins, we got the magnetic tool holder here, we've got the cup holder, we've got a set of these hooks here which can be used to carry extension cords. Again, I've got our fish tape held on there, but we've got a lot of stuff coming out, remainder of 2023 still, and then into 2024, the big thing that everyone's been asking for, which we will have, are the modular drawers, right? So you want to pull out the modular drawers, you want to have different things in there, those will be coming out soon. We've also got a variety of customizable pouches and things like that where you can hopefully lock them on here and you can switch them out. Right now, I'm going to move my notes here for a second. We've got some tool pouches right now, right? So a guy can use his pouch, he can lock that thing in, put that in. If the guy has a backpack with his tools, just drop my bender. A guy has a backpack for his tools, he can lock that in as well. So again, right now we've got some great storage options here, but again, coming out in 2024, we've also got another host of other tool carrying options that a guy can use on his job site. But again, the big thing that everyone's been asking for that we will be coming out with are those modular drawers.
That's when I'm reaching out to the different communities I'm plugged into, because I asked them for some feedback on both the MODboxes and the pack-outs and stuff. And one of the biggest things I heard is, well, Milwaukee's got drawers. Milwaukee's got drawers. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, so what, right?
We'll have drawers. Drawers are coming.
Exactly. But
they'll be out in 2024.
Exactly. On the flip side of that, though, what I also heard was almost to the equal volume level was, but Klein's got the rail system on the side. And that's where one of the things again, and you were showing that magnetic thing as you're showing it, I was just thinking, man, I could have used one of those this week. We have a farm. We harvested 2 pigs, and you go through like 7 knives when you do that.
Right.
And that thing would have been great because I would have had them just stuck to the side of that box. I wouldn't have to go reach.
So again, if that's what you need to get things done, this little magnetic thing here, you just clip it right on the side, and again, then you're off and running. And again, if you need a parts bin of sorts here, you want to have a parts bin with all your little whatever you need there, wiring nuts or screws or fasteners, whatever. Again, you can just sort of make this here and off you go, and we have a variety of those things. So the integrated rail was really key for us because we know that no 2 jobs are the same, no 2 workers are the same. So this enables a guy to customize it, make it modular, and hopefully find whatever solution that they need to find their solution on their job site.
Yeah, as I was looking at your products, by the way, one of the things I love about your website is the BUILDERVERSE.
Oh, nice.
I love that thing. I can't wait for all the new products to come out so I could kind of put it in, build on stuff. But as I was building the system, kind of looking at it and stuff and downloading the PDF, as a technician in the field, when after you get done pulling the cable, the next thing is you got to terminate the cables. So a lot of times, what I used to do is I used to just find an old 5-gallon bucket somewhere, a piece of cardboard, a cardboard box, and put in dividers, and I'd have my voice jacks in one bin, the data in another, my faceplates in another. And just looking at the one, you have two of them. You got the one with the lid, and then you have the one that's open.
Yep.
The one that's open could hold the faceplates. The one with the lid, you could have your voice and data jacks. You can just have them right there and not have to build that box. But kudos, I just love that. I just absolutely love that.
Yeah, we definitely spent a lot of time, talked to a lot of folks, and scenarios just as you mentioned here. We heard that time and time again. So that's why we made this rail. We made it so that we can, guys can customize their solution. Some guys need a closed one, some guys need an open one, and we have solutions for both those guys.
Yeah. You said talking about the new products. Do you have any, or do you currently have something that maybe I just missed, or are you going to be coming out with some kind of a mounting system where they can mount it in there, like say on the wall of a shop, or?
We do get a lot of those questions around the shop or the truck or things like that. So I would say stay tuned. We have pretty much a pretty aggressive roadmap of things that we're going to be launching for the next couple years. So again, we've got a few things that are on the hot burner up front. Like I mentioned, those modular drawer shelves there that everybody's clamoring for. But yeah, so there's lots of different things that are on the pipeline. I would say stay tuned. Keep checking back on kleintools.com/modbox for all those things because we have heard people and we do know what people are looking for. We just, we'll start launching things every year from here on out.
So that's the beautiful thing about not being the first one to a market, right? Because one of the problems that the Pack-Out kits had was their wheels.
Yeah.
The first generation had a huge problem with the wheels. And so now they had to fix that. So that's and just because you're not the first person to market, you have the advantage of not having to retool to come up with new stuff because the first version was bad. And a lot of people, unfortunately, look at that negatively, but I don't. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that weren't the first to market.
Sure.
Like the Apple MP3.
Right, I was just going to say, right. That's always the biggest example that everybody uses, right? And there were a lot of MP3 players out before Apple came out with the iPod, and look what they did there. So same with phones, right? There were a lot of cellular phones out before we all had an iPhone. So yeah, we did take a look at the market. We did ask a lot of people, and we did hear a lot of feedback about other systems and wheels. And so we took a lot of time and spent a lot of time designing these to make sure that they could withstand the environment. And that they were the right size as well. We didn't want to make a decision just based on cost. We wanted to make a decision based on the user need and find the right size wheels for them to get across a job site, take them upstairs, but also something that's going to last.
Yeah, when you mentioned the 10-inch wheels, I'm really curious about that one because I've got plenty of steps here in the farm that I'm going to take both these cases up. I'm going to fill them up with cinder blocks so that way they're the exact same weight. I'm going to take them up the steps, and I have shoulder surgery, so I'll be able to tell you if one's harder than the other.
All right, let us know how that goes.
Oh, there'll be a video coming out of it, trust me. And then, like I said, the new podcast is on the top of the hill. Well, it looks like a construction site from the end of my driveway to the top of the hill because the tractor work and all that stuff. So it's all Florida sugar sand, right? So I'm going to take them both all the way up that hill in that sugar sand. Another video. So I'm going to be real curious to see how well those 10-inch wheels do compared to the other wheels on the other product line, right?
All right. Well, we have confidence that they're going to perform well for you.
Nice. Yeah, make my job easy. That's what I like. I really do. So one of the things we're technicians, we're running around with cable testers and certifiers and OTDRs and stuff like that. And a lot of times, although those manufacturers are getting better about putting them in cases, they used to just send them to us in like bags. Is there some kind of compartment or some kind of maybe material that if I was to take that top box, that I could do a cutout and have like an OTR system so it wouldn't shift around inside the box?
Yeah, so right now we don't have the foam inserts that you're talking about, but on this top box here, I'm going to open this up. On the top box here, We do have some dividers inside that it will help your various different dividers that you can place in here to help compartmentalize your things. So depending on what you're carrying, we do have some various things here. You can make this little space here to put your stuff in, whatever it might be, to help that out. So we do have divider sections in here all along everything here that you can do, and then even in the lower mod boxes there, we've got a rail system inside as well where you can clip some things. So again, if you're using that tool pouch holder, you wanted to put something in there, you could clamp that into one of the lower boxes. So we do have some things. We don't have those foam inserts you're talking about, but we do have some dividers and some other things that are you can use inside the cases to help keep your things from jostling around.
Gotcha. So you said you have the reinforced locking hole there.
Yep.
Is it reinforced on both the lid and the base, or is it just one?
Yeah, so it goes through. So if you look here, I'm going to come up a little closer here, you'll see steel reinforced hole here. So you can run a cable all the way down through all three of these here, right?
Gotcha.
And then so you can lock all three together, or if you're traveling, right? You're just traveling. I'm going to take this. You're just traveling here, right? You can just lock. You can just put a padlock on the one there and run with that. So again, we do have this here, and then these metal clasps are here. But we do have that steel reinforced section for your boxes there.
So you mentioned it's IP65 rated, eyepiece ingress protection. What's the 65 rating mean?
So I think the highest is IP67, if I'm not mistaken, and so it really is about two things: ingress protection against debris, so more like hard matter stuff like dust and dirt and things of that nature, and then there's also protection against water and things of that nature. So one is more of a solid and one is more of a liquid. So again, I believe 67 is the highest, so we're at 65, which is the next one down. So it's got pretty good protection against, again, if you're on a job site, you do have a pretty expensive piece of equipment, you don't want to get dust or dirt in it. This will protect it, and again, if you do have something and you are out in some elements there, it is IP65 rated, give you some protection against the weather elements as well, whether it's rain, snow, whatever it might be. Yep.
And that's one of the tests I'm going to do. So I'm going to put my old job box to good use. I'm going to fill it up with water again, and I'm going to put a mod box and a pack out in the bottom, and have them weighted down with cinder blocks. And I'm going to let it sit overnight, see how much water gets into them. Because
right, you know what? That's a good. Let me know how that one. I want to check that video out too. But yeah. So IP65 rated. Again, I think the highest is 67, which has some things about submersion. But again, 65 wise, you should be just fine on a job site out there against protecting you against the elements.
Yeah, I'm not concerned that some technician is going to store their water store their toolbox where there's water. But if it's sitting in the back of their truck and they're driving down the highway 70 miles an hour in a rainstorm, if it can sustain being underwater for 24 hours, I'm pretty sure it could probably sustain being in the back of somebody's truck.
No, like I said, I'm pretty confident that the first scenario is somebody driving in their pickup truck on a highway, be pretty good protection for them back there. So
exactly. So I kind of mentioned earlier my shoulder surgery. 5 years ago, I had shoulder surgery. I had a torn bicep muscle, and so it hurts after a while when I started doing repetitive moves and stuff. So what kind of ergonomic considerations did you guys put into building your mod out kits?
Yeah, so I think the big thing is, again, we mentioned the wheels, and that's easily transported and rolled, right? So it's easily just for somebody to go move this thing around, ergonomic wise. And again, obviously you're going to load it up. But we mentioned some of the things here. I mean, we've got easy available handles here with overmolded grips. We've got padded shoulder straps here on everything. Again, give you a little, if you're happen to be taking this thing here, it'll have a little bit of padding on the shoulder here, and the same with the backpack, right? So the backpack here, padded shoulder straps here. So again, if you're taking this thing on a job site, you've got some protection here. And then if it's too heavy and you've loaded the thing up for bear, you're ready to go out to a job, and you don't want to carry it on your shoulder, just lock it in there. And then you're off and running. So from an ergonomic perspective, really it's about the stack here. It's about how easy it rolls. It's about how the handle is very comfortable with overmolded grips here. All the handles here have overmolded grips if you want to carry these things. But again, if you're going to attach things here, padded straps if you take them off, or if you're working with these things here, again, pretty easy just to lock them in if I can get in there. There you go. Lock it in. You're off and ready. You're ready to go.
So let's talk about warranties, right?
Okay.
What does the Klein offer for the warranty on their mod boxes?
So it's pretty standard warranty. We guarantee it free from defects that we make it. So if you if you do get something and there is an issue, which there hasn't been any issues to date, take it back to wherever you bought it, and they'll take care of you for it there. So pretty much standard warranty. Obviously, these things are meant to get used and abused, and so it's not a lifetime warranty because we do know that there will be a certain life of the tool here that will wear out over time, but standard regular Klein warranties apply where it's free from manufacturer's defects. So if you have any problems, you get it home, take it back to your store, they'll take care of you. And if something happens on the job site where something malfunctions one way or another, just take it back to your distributor or big box retailer, and they'll take care of it for you.
What was that?
That's my studio guys there. Giving me the emphasis on Klein take care of it for you there.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Is there any maintenance practice that somebody's going to need to follow? Like, do they need to keep the rubber gasket moist or oiled or the wheels lubed?
No, I mean the wheels don't. Yeah, I mean basically the maintenance is just don't let it dump out of your truck at 65 miles an hour on the highway. We don't recommend that. But overall, yeah, I mean again, just make sure you're taking care of it like you take care of any of your tools. If there's no special maintenance in terms of the gasket or the wheels that we recommend, just make sure that you can, if it gets dirty or whatever, just wipe it down. It'll be fine. And the impact resistant polymer should withstand you anything on the job site. And you mentioned some of the UV rays. There is some UV protection on this as well. So again, no special things that are needed to take care of it. Just treat it well and it'll last you for a while.
One thing Milwaukee has is a large community.
Yes.
Where's Klein's community?
Yeah, so we're all, I mean, we're obviously pretty huge on all social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it might be. But if you're, I mentioned earlier about Klein Tools collectors. If you'd like to collect things or see things that other people collect, check out the Klein Tools Collectors Facebook group. And those guys have some really unique things that they're finding all the time that they're purchasing. Or if you're just a fan of Klein Tools, go again on Facebook, check out the Klein Tools Fans Facebook group, and that's just people who like to show off their collection. Again, there's a lot of great people on there, moderators who will answer your questions about things, trying to find something. And they're a great group of people in both those groups, and everybody helps each other out. So if you're looking for a tool, or you want to trade a tool, or buy a tool, or sell a tool, those guys are really great, and they'll help you out. So Klein Tools Collectors on Facebook or Klein Tools Fans on Facebook are two really great groups for your audience to check out.
Technicians, typical men, we can't just leave things well enough alone. We buy a car, we got to put nice shiny wheels on and dual exhaust, and we got to trick out the paint, right? Now with the whole 3D printing community, right? Have you heard of anybody in the 3D printing community making accessories for your stuff already?
Not yet. We did see a lot of that homegrown stuff that's popped up around some of the competition for various things, and we certainly appreciate some of those ideas that people were doing, but we haven't seen anything with ours yet. I guess maybe it's a very complete system and we've offered everybody everything they could possibly want, so no need for that yet. But no, I'm sure as this thing grows and as this thing spends some more time in the marketplace, people will do their own mods for it and we will see it. But right now I have not seen anything on that.
Gotcha. I guarantee you there will be a community.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure people will. I'm sure.
I'm making this claim right here. I'm going to stake this claim. I guarantee you at some time somebody's going to 3D print something and you guys are going to look at that and you're going to say, hey, we need to offer that. Right.
Why didn't we think of that? No, that's great. Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I'm sure. You know what? I'm always amazed at the ingenuity of our customers and our audiences. We always get a lot of great feedback from people on improvements and things like that. So I'm always amazed at how smart people are out there in the world.
Greg, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to putting your mod box to the test.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing those videos, and thank you for having us today. And again, if anybody has any questions about it, kleintools.com/modbox.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I have reached out to Milwaukee to give them their equal time. and I'm going to start doing my tests. The current tests I have planned include filling up the job box with water and putting them both into water overnight, and then seeing how much water gets into them. Simulate sitting in the back of a pickup truck driving through a rainstorm. I'm going to drag them up the hill to the new podcast studio, which currently looks like a construction site because of all the tractor work. And then I'm also going to pull them up the steps on the deck and stuff to see how well the size of the wheels actually makes pulling them up them decks. If you have a test that you think I should do, put that in the comment box down below. And one thing I forgot to mention, the MODbox and the PACKOUT kit that you're going to see in this testing, I bought those. Those were not given to me. I went to Lowe's and I went to Home Depot and I bought them. So this test is not going to be influenced by somebody giving me free products. These are my genuine opinion. I've got skin in this game. And whichever one wins, whichever system wins, that's what I'm going to be building my platform off of. Till next time, everybody, knowledge is power.
That's it for this episode of today's podcast. We hope you were able to learn something. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Also, leave a rating so we can help even more people learn about telecommunications. Until next time, be safe.